One of the things we'll talk about in weeks to come that I'm certainly going to urge the current administration to do is I think that they can wait a while if they want and see if the feds take some action, but I think it's long overdue for Arizona to close its own border. And I've said for a long time, Arizona can do that. I believe we can do that. Even in tough economic times, I think we can figure out a way to close our own border. People say, well, then they'll just come in through California or New Mexico. That's fine with me. I don't live in California or New Mexico. I live in Arizona, and that'll be their problem. But and I have a long record of supporting immigrants and immigrants' rights and treating people who are here illegally humanely. But having said that, there is no excuse for this open border that we have here in Arizona. It needs to be closed, and if the feds won't do it, we ought to do it ourselves.
Grant, I know you were in LA last week, so you probably saw the story in the LA Times.
Yeah.
I read it
Shocking,
online. I read the LA Times online every day, and you come across a story like that, and it makes you wonder: are they trying to squelch that story locally? Because that was big news.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of home invasions. Well, you can pretty much attribute every home invasion, or about 90% of them, to this exact ring of the ransom for hire. And they will come here and they will basically steal the people, kidnap them right in the middle of the day, and then the phone calls start within the next 15-20 minutes. I mean, they have task force working on this around the clock. I mean, they have a lot of detectives that are just doing this right now. And it was a scary story.
We're talking scary stuff right here in our hometown.
Yeah, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these are going on all the time. Not like hundreds a day, but they have like multiple hundreds of open cases on these, and they have a hard time solving them too.
Yep.
And the poor people of the families where these people are abducted, I mean, they are doing everything they can to get that money because these people are killed in a lot of instances.
It's brutal. And you know, that's another thing. Go back to the president. I would like to know what the president was briefed on Mexico, because it could be really scary. And Mexico is careening out of control here, and that can't happen either. We cannot have an unstable Mexico, but it's fairly unstable right now, let's put it that way. So I would say in Arizona 2 things we ought to do. One is we ought to have some sort of task force, some sort of group of people who know what they're doing to look at how we're going to close our own border and stop this nonsense. Number 2,